on the court, you dropped 40. You put up big numbers for the Mavericks when you played. You said you seem a little motivated, almost seem cool with the trade. So, AD, I believe in you. Go out there and get it done. All right, at number 2, dominating DeAndre Ayton. Now, people mocked you when you gave yourself that nickname, dominating.
Yeah.
Nick and Wiles looked at me cross-eyed when I said it earlier in the show. But I like it. I like that you gave yourself that nickname. And look, DeAndre, you have a chance to change your entire image and reputation. Because it is, forget underachiever, it's just not bust by any stretch. You haven't been a bust, but you were the #1 pick ahead of Luka. And heck, Trae Young, I'm gonna throw him in at this point. You were the #1 pick ahead of those guys. You've been okay, but not lived up to the hype of what you're supposed to be. Now expectations are much lower, which is good for you. You get to play with Luka and LeBron, 2 of the greatest playmakers in the game, and you get to catch a lot of lobs. Focus on defense. This is your chance to change. You said yesterday that this is an opportunity you will not take for granted. So don't take it for granted, because we can argue that you have kind of taken your entire career for granted and not gone out there and been hungry and lived up to your potential. So this is a great opportunity for you to do that in LA. You're clearly the 3rd guy at best. You might be the 4th guy. So go out there, mesh well with your teammates, and just have a good attitude and a high motor for 82 games in the playoffs. And that'll change your whole reputation and image.
Very motivational so far.
Yeah, I'm trying to motivate cats. I believe in you more than needs to.
Yeah.
I believe in you more than needs to. Let's put it that way. At number 1, Mike Brown. Mike, this is your chance. This is it. This is your chance to win the elusive championship that has evaded you as a head coach. You coach LeBron. You coach Kobe. I know the issues around those two, but still, you coach those two, didn't get a ring. Nobody's blaming you, but didn't get a ring. Now you have a chance. And here's the thing. You're in the East. Being in the East this year is like telling a 10-year-old, we're having Christmas twice this year. It's that good to be in the East where everybody is banged up and mediocre or young. Orlando is young. I mean, as much talent as they have. And Atlanta is just putting it together. And Miami's at a talent deficit. And Milwaukee and Indiana are obviously banged up. And Cleveland, I hate to say it because one of my hometowns is soft until proven otherwise.
Wow, tough.
Till they get to the playoffs and prove other times they've been mentally soft in these games. So you have a grand opportunity. Here's the other thing. If you do it in New York, everything is magnified in New York. If you win a championship with the Knicks, and I said win a championship, you do what Pat Riley, Don Nelson, Tom Thibodeau, Jeff Van Gundy, what they couldn't do. You go there and do that in New York, probably a Hall of Famer.
Okay.
If he wins a championship with the Knicks.
I think that's probably, I think we're a little.
I think not. I'm trying to motivate you, Mike.
This is the most motivational.
It is there for you, set on a platter. Get him. You got to get him to the finals. They just fired a guy that got you to the Eastern Conference Finals, so you got to get him to the finals. But I do believe in you.
Wow.
You have a chance to really, really, really set a legacy.
What a motivational bud list.
Yeah, look. First of all, I love the Bruto. I don't know.
Wow.
where
The
that
chess
came-
was.
Again.
I mean, just the idea
Of that.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Usually, I'm all in on the Bud list. I don't love Mike Brown at number 1. I think it's you probably should have put the owner on the Bud list personally. And I think that
Oh, that's not
Mike,
bad.
no matter what happens.
Could have
to Mike-
left Tibbs.
Well, you know, it's a little rough, but I'm happy for Mike Brown. I think he's going to do a great job. Not happy with the Knicks ownership. But I'm going to shift to football and go with the Browns front office and the Browns head coach. And this is a really, really difficult time for him. And I know people are excited with Shedeur Sanders and everybody's talking about it. But for Kevin Stefanski and for Andrew Berry, it's a really difficult time because you got 4 quarterbacks. You've got only 3 preseason games. You've got 2 draft picks, and you've got 1 quarterback that's an incredible distraction. Yeah. And he's a 5th-round draft pick, and he's putting out videos. And look, I know Nick probably loves it. I don't know if we can see his late. This is him running.
What a workhorse!
At midnight, he's running at midnight to some.
This is training. It's not to a commercial shoot, Coach. You know, God forbid he did that.
Well, it's only, well, he has a couple speeding tickets. It's a lot of stuff besides football, and at the end of the day, none of the 4 may be good enough to get you where you want to be. So trying to work this out through such a concentrated and shortened amount of time with the less preseason games, going to be rough.
I think that's an interesting one, Coach, and fair. Let me ask you this, because there's some reports saying it was the owner's call to draft Shedeur.
Yeah.
How much more difficult does that make this situation for Barry and Stefanski?
It makes it incredibly difficult. If the owner's going to want to be right, and he's going to push, he's going to make suggestions. So owners typically make suggestions, but they're not really suggestions. They're, you better do this. And now if it's wrong, it's like, well, you're the football guys. I was just making a suggestion. But it's really, it's one of those things where once he weighs in, the scales are stacked in Shedeur's favor. Now, whether or not Shedeur can capitalize on that, I'm not really convinced that he can, and I don't think the Browns are convinced that he can, based off of who they drafted prior to him.
Well, it's 4:10 on a Wednesday, and I know what you're thinking. Oh, Wednesday? That means there's no sports media ombudsman. Yeah. But we are contractually obligated, so 4:10 on a Wednesday, whether you like it or not, here is the sports media ombudsman.
I don't know why you feel the need to say whether you like it or not.
It's just in the script.
You don't do that for literally anything else we do.
Well, whether they like it or not.
Yeah, it feels whatever.
How does it feel?
It's not great. So I was listening to one of my favorite podcasts the other day, hosted by one of my best friends in the world, The Wright Time with Bomani Jones. And it's always a good podcast. It was an extra treat because someone I've known since college, that I did radio with briefly in college, Adam Lefkoe was his guest. So I'm like, these are 2 of my favorite people. Let me give it a close listen. And Lefkoe mentions to Bomani, he's like, have you noticed this trend of certain sports media members using AI to write their sports takes? And he had done a whole investigation. And so I was like, this can't be. We all are. First of all, we got pretty good jobs. We watch sports, give our opinions on them.
Sure.
It's mentally a little taxing, physically, arguably the single least taxing job in the world. Also, we are all those of us that, basically all 3 of us at this table, certainly Wilds and I, Brew at least covered a beat. Coach, obviously, Coach and won championships. But those of us who got here by, I don't know, having good opinions, being, incredibly handsome and funny, and whatever it is, we all should at all times be very glad to have the jobs and also feel very lucky to have them, and certainly not want to cede any ground to our future AI overlords. To which I say, because I did some investigation, there's a few pretty obvious M-dashers via tweet, and it's like, wait, pre-chat GPT, your tweets were all this long, now they're this long and they have a lot of extra clauses. I'm like, you're having the machines give your sports takes.
Huh.
Wow.
And I'm here to tell you, stop, please. Because if I've noticed it, your bosses might notice it. Your bosses might notice it. They might be like, you know who we don't have to pay? AI. And if you're farming out your own opinions because you think AI can figure it out better, it's not good for any of us. It's also, by the way, not good for the audience. And anyone who was on Twitter yesterday also knows trusting AI with just about anything has a lot of dark sides to that that can go off the rails at any moment. So please, folks, those of us who are lucky enough to be working in this profession, take the extra 30 seconds, write your own tweets, give your own takes, and don't have Claude or ChatGPT or any of these places give them for you. I beg of you. Thank you.
I typed into AI. I did it.
But you did what?
Well, if AI is saying they're coming for everybody's job, it feels like AI everyone's like, AI is coming for everybody's job, but not my job. So I'm like, shoot, is AI coming for my job? So I typed in, write a Kevin Wildes type script.
And it did it?
It wasn't very good.
Okay, thank God. Did you use it?
No.
Okay, good.
But
It sounded
You don't
like
have
you.
a problem with getting sports takes from AI?
Is this a real thing?
I swear to
that's
God,
what
I'm not
I'm
making it up.
baffled.
I
That's
knew
never
this would
crossed
be
my
bad.
mind.
I swear I'm not making it
Do
up.
I have a problem getting sports takes with AI? No. No, if you're forming a take out of nowhere, like I need a take on Wimbledon and I have no take on it, then I think, of course, that's not your actual take.
But you'd be all right with it then.
No, but I think it's like, I think that your recommendation of like, it's there, we have a dam against it, and don't put a needle, like you have to keep it at bay, I don't think that works.
Okay.
I think that is an impossibility. That is like, you are in the. We've seen the media business change. Every technological innovation since the printing press changes, including cable television.
No, I understand that.
Wow, you're watching the show on the phone.
No, I understand
How dare
that.
you?
But there is, and again, I didn't mean to hijack
Well,
this.
I get going on AI.
But here's my take, Brew, and see if you agree with me. If what we are providing, I'll use me specifically, what I am providing is my opinion.
Yeah.
Really, you know what I mean? I didn't play, I wasn't a reporter, I watched the games, I try to be educated, provide my opinion. If I farm out my opinion, then I'm just a heartless vessel.
Anybody.
If I'm just like, hey,
buckle up. If you type in Nick Wright type opinion, if LeBron decides to go to Cleveland, and you type in ChatGPT, can you give me a Nick Wright type opinion on this? And you read it verbatim, people.
I understand, which is why I'm saying those of us that I think we need a dam against it.
It's not gonna work.
Okay.
It's like having, and I know it's happening, but it's like having it write your term paper in college.
Yeah.
But that's not.
But if you agree with the take,
Here we go.
No.
if Nick
I
Wright
think you do your own
evaluates a
research.
several
Yes, and I
takes
got it. I
and
have
likes
to.
the take, does it then become your take?
Listen, if I would have been, if this segment were a little meaner and I had been more specific and said, hey, here's the tweets I'm talking about, I think you guys would have maybe agreed with me more. That's like,
I agree.
This doesn't
I
sound
totally
at
agree.
all like anything you've said in the past, and now you're writing at a 12th grade level when it used to be 7th grade. I think that, but whatever.
Wow. I can't wait till the break to hear.
I'm adding something we can all agree on. Heaves coming back to the NBA. We saw it a little bit in the
down with
playoffs,
Heaves.
and there is a new rule that we're testing in Summer League that Heaves will count as a, quote, team stat. End of period heaves will count as a team stat and not an individual stat. So here, the end of period heaves won't go on your shooting percentage. So a lot of players, Coach, were reluctant to heave the ball at the end of halves.
They didn't want the 0 for 1.
Because you don't want to be 0 for 1. So, like,
The
I'll give you
coach
an
is
example.
sickened by it.
But it happens, Coach.
I'm going to give you I think I might be able to change your mind.
It happened. So Ant was 0 for 33. Joker was 4 for 58. Joker was willing to do it because he was kind of post stats. But then Josh ran the numbers, and it does increase your 3-point percentage just a little bit if you eliminate heaves. And then some people are like, well, we should go back throughout all